types of orders. So the first order in the DocuSketch platform is the inspection orders. And it is also known as PTP or pillar to post orders. So these orders are big orders, mostly mansions, and came from insurance companies. They are using this to fix the actual condition of the house. Most inspection orders require hotspots. And you will learn about hotspots in your next stage here in the company. So to identify a DocuSketch, inspection orders, again, under the order column on the left side, you will see a symbol which is colored green with letters D and S. So D and S stands for DocuSketch, and under the label column, you will see a hotspots tag. So hotspots is the symbol for the inspection orders. So we are still in the DocuSketch platform, and the second order or the second type of order is what we call the restoration order. So these orders are for construction companies, and they are using this to calculate the volume of the repair work needed. These orders are more complicated, and the requirements are higher. The drafters working on these tours are experienced drafters because often the rooms in these orders are too cluttered, burned or destroyed by fire, floods, typhoons, and the like. These orders require accuracy with an allowable margin of error of 5% only. Again, to identify a DocuSketch and restoration orders, still under the order column, you will still see a DS tag which is colored green, which stands for DocuSketch, and under the label column, there is an ESX or ESX full tag, which stands for restoration orders. So before we proceed to our second topic, do you have any questions? So if none, uh, our second topic is the Implanner overview. But I want to remind everyone that if you have any questions, our chat box is open, so you can type your questions there, so I can answer it immediately. So again, type your questions on our chat box. So let us proceed. Our second topic is the Implanner overview. Our company is using the Implanner as our main working avenue. I am sure that you have received an email containing your credentials to log in with our company website. So, uh, if not, if you haven't received your email yet, so probably it is in the spam. So, I will teach you how to find the email. So, on the search bar, you will just type hello, welcome to the floor plan team. And this email will be filtered, this one, Implanner account. And when you open that email, it will give you this credential. So you have your email there, and you have your password. And when you open that email, you will see this link. And when you click on it, you will be directed to this page. And when you have logged in successfully, you can now access this order page. So here, you will see all the orders assigned to you. So just to give you an example, we are now viewing my personal and planner page. So as you can see here, I have already a time tracker and I already plotted my schedule for the day. And it is because the company needs to track our working time so that they will have a record of our productivity. And as you can see here, I have two floor plan orders. So unlike other softwares that we are using like AutoCAD, Revit, and other architectural or engineering softwares, our company here is using this system which is based on the internet. So you do not have to download or install anything on your computers. You will just have to access the website and log in using your account. So again, as I have said earlier, we are viewing my personal and planner account. I have two floor plan orders here. They are both IV or ImoViewer orders. The first order is in progress and the other one is new. So I will be discussing the difference between the two later. So let us break down the parts of an order. On the left side is the order information. So again, IV is the platform or the ImoViewer is the platform and test orders are labeled with letter T. So take note of this. If you are working on a training tour or also a test order, a training tour, or test tours, so they are both the same, they are labeled with letter T. So if it is a live order, then you will not see a letter T tag. Then you will also see the order ID, which is this 1005639, and the status of the order is still new. Next is the dates. Created is the date and time which the order is created, and the deadline is the date and time which the order must be completed and reviewed before it will be delivered to our clients. Under the label column, you will find all the tags associated to the tour. So for example, here in this tour, we can see that there is a label DH ordered or DH published, which means that this tour requires 3D or what we call the die house. Under the tour info, you will find the tour ID. So do not be confused because the order ID, this one, and the tour ID are totally different. And you will also find the country of origin for this tour, which is Russia, and the tour name itself, which is 0202 IV Test. And there are three buttons that you can find under the actions column. So this one, the button that looks like a rocket is the link or the button going to the virtual tour. The button in the middle, which looks like a pencil, is the link or the button going to the order page. And the last button is the copy order information. So I will show you how to use them. Let us go back to my personal and planner account. So as you can see here, I have two extra buttons and a total of 5 buttons. That's because, as I have mentioned earlier, I am a member of the training team and it gave me access to some of the buttons I need to fulfill my roles. So for regular employees like you will only have these three basic buttons. Let's try to click this one, the button going to the virtual tour. So a tab is automatically opened, and now we are viewing the virtual tour. You can see the overview of the tour here, even if you are not yet starting to do the order. And you can also transfer from one camera to another by simply clicking this button and switching between the different thumbnails on the bottom of your screen. So again, this is what we call the virtual tour. This button here is the copy order information. So this is how it works. I will click this one and open a notepad. Then right click and paste. So as you can see, we have the order information easily. So to check, it says here that the order is IV 1015506, which is the same as this one. The tour ID is 1757130, which is the same as this one. And it says that the cameras are 6, which is also the same as this one. So we use this information when we are reporting on the tours that we have finished later on your next stage of employment here in the company. So again, this is the copy order information. And this one, the button at the middle, that which looks like a pencil, will direct you to the main page of the order. And it looks like this. And as you can see, the status of the tour is still new. But when you click this button, the Start Drawing FP, the status of the tour turned in progress. Now, in the meantime, let us leave this order page. We will get back to this later. Let us discuss first the tutorial and the feedback button. On the upper right side of your Emplanner page, you will see this button. This contains all the links to our tutorials and your feedback file. And this is the directory of the tutorials. But as of now, you only have access to this candidate instructions. So let us view. So again, this button, click and click tutorials. Now, a tab containing all the tutorials has been opened, and click on the candidate. So these are all the instructions that you have to read before you proceed doing your test tours. And as you can see, some of the instructions are already translated in the Vietnamese language. So let us try to open the instruction for the Roombox tab. Let us open another, the instruction for the M planner. Now, for those instructions that are not yet translated in your language, because our team is still on the process of translating these instructions, you can just read them in English. And also, we have here some video tutorials that when you open will lead you to a YouTube page tutorial, but you have to remember that this tutorial is old. So as you can see, it is published on October 12, 2021. So the interface of the M Planner is a little bit old. And, but you do not have to worry because though there are some revisions on the buttons or some parts of the interface, the process is still the same. So again, these are all the tutorials that you have to read before you proceed doing your tests. And this is the feedback file. This contains all the tours that you have finished and reviewed by our team. They mark all your errors and they add some comments so you have a reference for your future tours. Please do not forget to check your feedback file from time to time to avoid the repetition of errors. So let us go to my feedback file. So again, this button here, click and click feedback. And it will give you your personal feedback file. So it has your name on it and the start date. And as you can see, I have several floor plans that I have already finished. And the training team and or the checkers or the reviewers are checking all of the tours that we are doing. So they are marking some of our errors and also they are adding some comments like this. So in the future, when you encounter tours that have the same situation, you will know how to proceed. So again, please do not forget to check your feedback file from time to time because we are updating them so that you will see your errors and so that you do not repeat them on your next tours. Do you have any questions? So if none, let us proceed. So again, reminding everyone that if you have any questions, please type on our chat box so that I can see them and answer them immediately. So a while ago, we have discussed the order page and we click Start Drawing FP and the tour automatically turned in progress. Now you can see that we have two workspaces here, ground floor and first floor. That is because this tour has two floors and the number of the workspace depends on the number of floors in the tour. When you click this draw button, you will be directed to the room box tab. And this is the room box tab. You will know that you are in the room box tab because the tab above is highlighted in color blue. Now, to further understand the room box tab, let us do a quick discussion using a real test tour. So we will be using this test tool at the bottom. So again, click this button at the middle, the button that looks like a pencil, to open the order page. And the status of the tour is still new. Click Start Drawing FP, and the tour turned in progress. Now, we only have one workspace here because this tour only has one floor. And then click this draw button to open the room box tab. So this is the room box tab. You will know that you are in the room box tab because this is highlighted in color blue. So let us discuss or let us dissect each part for better understanding. Let us start with this button here. So it contains the overview of the tour, the number of the cameras, and the tasks that you need to complete or you have completed is displayed here. So as you can see, completed is still 0, uncompleted is still 6, and the progress is 0% or 0/6. That is because we are not yet starting to do anything here in this order. So this is the overview tab. Then right beside it, this button contains the name of the tour and the units of measurement used. So the name of the tour is 101-5506 IV or InnoViewer, number 2 Andropova Street 354. And the units of measurement used in this tour is meters. Now, there is an option to upload the file, but it is not available for you, so we will not discuss this. But I think you have autosave, so you just have to turn this on so that whatever progress that you will be making later will be saved automatically. Next is this button. So it contains the hotkeys or the shortcuts for an easier way of doing the room box. So it says here, for example, you have to press D on your keyboard to add a door to a wall, press W to add window, letter E for erase, and M for missing wall. Now, under it, there is a collapsible button which contains all of the cameras here in this tour. So now we are only on the second floor because when we go back to the main order page, you can see here that the floor that we will be doing is only second floor. So it is also written here. Now, as you can see, when I switch from one camera to another, this frame here is also being transferred. So it means that uh, the active camera, which is this one, which is framed in color white, is the body zoomer. So we are viewing this active camera. So when I transfer to floor, you will also see this frame. It is also transferred. So we are now viewing the camera, which is named the floor. So if you are a little bit confused or curious about the camera names, because this tour is in German language. So in the future, you will encounter tours that are in either German or English language because often our uh, our live orders are coming from the Germany and the United States and Canada. So the language are in German and English. So Floor, stands for hallway or corridor. Badezimmer is for bathroom. Kutsche is for kitchen. Wohnzimmer is for living room. And Schlafzimmer is for bedrooms. Now, under all of the cameras, there is also an overview tab, which is the same as the one above. So they have the same function. And these three buttons here, when you click the arrow up button, it will give you the view of the ceiling. When you click the arrow down, it will give you the top view. And this button at the center will give you the normal view from the camera. So this is the camera that we are talking about. This is the device used to capture the 360-degree image that we are viewing now. So this is the technology our company is using to serve our clients. So I will show you how this works later. Let us discuss first this tabs at the bottom of your screen. So this is the task tab. So it contains all the tasks that you need to do in each camera. So it says here that we have to create room box, we have to create doors and missing walls, and create windows. As you can see, it is still 0/3 because we are not yet starting to do the order. Then beside it, you can also transfer from one camera to another by simply clicking these arrow buttons on both sides. Now, let us discuss these buttons here at the right side of the room box tab. So this button contains all the actions you need to take to complete the plan and assemble it using the merge tool. But since you are a beginner, merge tool is not yet available for you. So let us skip this for now. This export to 2D, I will discuss this later when we begin or after we room box all of our rooms. Now, this panorama, this panel here, contains the height of the camera. So this camera here. And I will measure this door opening. So as you can see, I have here 1.14 meters as the size of the door opening. And the height of the camera is 1.55 meters. So sometimes there are times that the camera heights or the camera are uploaded in the wrong camera heights. So we have the access to change it. So for example, you have detected or you have identified that this room or this camera has the wrong camera height. So for example, from 1.55, it should be 1.20 only. So we can change it. So just simply type 1.20 and click apply. Now, as you can see, from 1.14 measurement that we have that we got a while ago, it was changed to 0.88. So it means that whatever you do in the height of the camera will clearly affect the measurement that you are getting from your boom box. So again, when you change the camera height, the measurements also change. But since you are a beginner and you will be working on a simple tasks, you do not have to change any camera height because we have already uploaded the camera heights in their correct height. So we will just return this to 1.55. So again, I want to repeat, you do not have to change any camera height in your test tours because all of them are already correct. Now, this screen here will contain the sketch from the room box that you did. So we will see this later when we begin to room box the cameras here on the tour. Next is the calibration option. So there are tours where the automatic calibration work incorrectly, so you will do a manual calibration of it. So I want you to pay attention to all of the rooms that I will be showing you. So as you can see, all of these rooms are straight except this one. So you will notice that the image is a little bit distorted, or uh, it is a little bit tilted on the right side, which means that there is a possibility that this room is not calibrated. So to check, turn on the grid option and you will see a vertical and horizontal lines that are now displayed. So again, since you are a beginner, you do not have to worry about the calibration of the cameras. So I just want to show you how to calibrate so that you will have a background. Now, we will use this black grid line here, the vertical line, and we will point it or align it on the supposed to be straight line. In this case, is the door jamb. So as you can see, this line, the vertical black line is perfectly straight line. And this, the line of the door jamb is angled. So you can see the difference between the two lines. So there is a difference between their angles. So it is now clear that this room is not calibrated. So let us calibrate this. Click this calibrate and you will see the instruction. Find two vertical objects, walls, edges, or doors, and draw two lines with Alt key. So by pressing the Alt key on your keyboard, we will create a line like this. So this is the first line, but we are in need of two lines. So let us try to use this corner. And as you can see, when I release my hand from the Alt key, the room become straighter than the one before. So again, let us check the straightness using this vertical black line. So they are aligned with each other now. And let us check the other corners. So all of the corners should be straight. Now, when you see that all corners are already straight, we will check in top view. So, since all of them looks like they have already 90 degrees, we will click apply calibration. And now, we have already calibrated this camera. So again, I want to repeat that you do not have to worry about the calibration of the cameras in your test tours because they are already uploaded in the correct calibration. Next, we have here the brightness and contrast uh, level. So you are free to move or to change the level of the brightness and contrast depending on what you are comfortable with. So it is always up to you. And we now have the move pano or the move camera. So it helps you to move the cameras or the rooms to their correct floor location. Because sometimes there are cameras in the tour that are uploaded on the wrong floor location, so you are allowed to move them. So for example, while doing the tour, you have identified that the floor does not belong to the second floor because as of now, we are on the second floor. So you have an option to move it. So you will just have to select the room, then click Move Pano, and make sure that this checkbox is marked. Then you have to select destination. So for example, we will choose first floor, then click Move Cameras. Now, from the second floor, the floor is located now on the first floor. So that is how we move a camera. But again, you are working on a test tour, so you do not have to move anything. So we will just take this back to the second floor. So it is now back on the second floor. And this last button here is the clear RB or clear room box. So whatever progress that you have made here on the camera, you can clear it or you can delete all of them by clicking this button. So now that you know the different parts of the room box tab, let us get into action. The extrusion mode. It makes an easier and more accurate way to measure a room with protrusions or invisible corners. It can be used by pressing the Shift key on your keyboard and pushing the marked wall. So, before the extrusion mode was developed by our technical team, we do a corner-to-corner placement of the room box node. So what am I talking about? So we will measure the room from one corner to another. So for example, on this corner here, I will start by pressing the Alt key. So as you can see, when I press the Alt key, there is a blue dotted line that is appearing on the corner, and we will click. So you have now created a line, and do not forget to push it back up to the ceiling. Also here on this corner, press Alt and click, push it towards the ceiling. And also here on this corner, press Alt and click. And also here on this corner. So this is how we measure our room before. So as you can see, we have already obtained a measurement or measurements of the both sides of the room. So this is how we measure our room before. But sometimes there are rooms that have several corners, such as this one. So as you can see, we have several corners here. This one, and these corners here. So if you encounter these rooms, rooms like this that have a lot of corners, so obviously it will take a lot of time to measure or to place the room box node one by one. So that is why the technical team developed the tool which we call the extrusion mode. So I will teach you how to measure using the extrusion mode. So the first thing that we are going to do is that we will create a line from this corner up to here. So again, on this corner, press Alt and click. And also here, press Alt and click. Now, after we have created this line, we will be viewing this in top view so that we will see if the line that we have created is straight. And as you can see, it is a little bit slanted. So we will just have to adjust to make it more straight like this. Now, we will be using the extrusion mode. And to use that, you will have to press Shift on your keyboard. And as you can see, the area where my mouse is hovering is turning into blue shade. And it means that we are ready to use the extrusion mode. And to do that, you will just have to pull until you reach the opposite side or the opposite corners of the room. So now, we have already measured this room. And as you can see here, we have a sketch that has the same measurement as this one. So we have 3.21. So as you can see, the measurement is 3.21 also. The other is 3.85. So as you can see here, 3.85 is the measurement of the other side. And the task tab here is already 1/3 because we have created the room box. And it is now highlighted in color green. Doors, windows, and missing walls. It is necessary to mark the doors, windows, and missing walls in the room box stage of the drawing process. Press D for doors, W for windows, and M for missing walls. Now, in this stage, we will be marking the doors. So you have to remember that in the room box stage, we have to mark the doors, the windows, and the missing walls. So let us start with marking all of these doors. To do that, you will have to press D on your keyboard. And as you can see, my cursor is turned into a cross one. And we will be marking the door starting from here up to here. You have to remember that when you mark the door, you will be marking the door opening only, and we do not include the door jamb. So when you do this, it will give you the wrong measurement. Remember, we are only marking the door opening like this. Now, as you can see here, we have a warning sign and it says choose door type. So when you click on the center of the door, these options will pop up and we have here the different door types. So we have with path or the swing door. We also have the sliding, bifold, Dutch, overhead, and pocket doors. But as of now, we are not yet sure of the we are not yet sure of the type of the door. So you can just choose whatever type of door you want because later you will still have the option to change the door type if it is not the correct door type that you have chosen in the room box tab. So as of now, we will choose any of the door here. So I will go with path or a swing door. And when you chose the type of the door, there is still a selection. You have to choose whether it is, you have to choose the direction, whether it is push or pull. So push means in order to open the door, you will have to push. And pull means that in order to open the door, you will have to pull. You also have to choose the position of the door. So it is either left or right. So left means that the door is attached to the left side, and the right means that the door is attached on the right side. But as of now, we cannot see any clue on the type of door or whether the direction and position. So we will just have to guess. So I will guess that it is push and attached to the right. Now, for this door type here, you can clearly see that this is a swing door. So this is the door lift. So swing door or with path. So choose with path. Now it is a push because you will have to push in order to open it. And it is attached on the right side. So as you can see, it is on the right side of the door jamb. Now let us mark this door. Press D. So again, we will have to choose the door type. So we are not really sure of what type of the door is this. So let us guess that it is a with path door and push. So I will have to guess that it is on the right side. Now for this door, as you can see, it is a swing door in push direction attached on the left side. So let us mark, press D on your keyboard. Choose with path, push, and left. Now also for this door, as you can see, the door is a swing door. So this is the door lift, and this is the door handle. And it is in a push direction attached on the right. So press D on your keyboard. Choose with path, push, and right. Now, I want you to pay attention to this door because when I zoom in, you can see the door hinges. So when you encounter doors like this, it automatically means that the door is in pull direction. So you have to remember that when you see the door hinge, the door is in pull direction. And the side where you can see the door hinge is the position of the door. So it means that the door is on the right side. So let us mark this door. Press D on your keyboard. Choose with path or swing door. Now, because of its size, the system has detected it as a double door, but it is not a double door, so we will just turn this off. Now, choose full direction and right. So as you can see here, all of the doors that we have added are also displayed now on the sketch that we are looking. And the task tab, you can see here, it is 2/3 because we have created the room box and we also have created the doors and missing walls. Now, the third task is to create windows. But the problem is we do not have any windows here. So what are we going to do is we will skip the task and we will select a reason for skipping the task, which is a corridor because this room is a corridor. Then send answer. Now from 2 over 3, it becomes 2 over 2. So it means that we are already done with the room box for this room. So how are we going to save this? It is as simple as clicking on the other side, on the other cameras, and as you can see here, we have a symbol which is colored green, which says correct room box, save. So when you have done a wrong room box, for example, you will see that the symbol here is not color green, and it says here unsaved room box. So when you created a wrong room box, it will not be saved. It will only be saved if you have done it correctly. So it means that for this one, we will have to repeat our room box. The ruler tool. So in cases where the rooms are very large and it is too difficult to use the room box to measure the room, another option is to use the ruler tool. Press R and click on the floor to use the ruler tool. So I will just give you a background on how to measure using the ruler tool, but we will not going to focus on this one so that we can save time. So to measure using the ruler tool, you will have to press R continuously on your keyboard, and we will create a line like this from one corner to another. And this is why I do not recommend using the ruler tool because it will take a lot of time measuring one room, especially if you are not yet used to it. So unlike the room box tab, there is an extrusion mode which we can use to easily measure the room. But for the for the ruler tool, you don't have a choice. You have to measure from one corner to another. And this is the measurement that we got using the ruler tool. And I want you to take note that there is no sketch here. So unlike in the room box tab, we have here a sketch or a plan, while on the ruler tool, there is nothing here. So it means that when you use the ruler tool to measure the room, you will also have to draw the rooms manually in the 2D editor. Because here in the room box tab, we can just export this in the 2D editor. While on the ruler tool, there is none. So let us continue doing the room box for all of these cameras here. So again, I will start here on this side of the room. So it is always up to you where you want to start. But I will start here on this corner. Again, press Alt and click. Push it towards the ceiling. So in cases like this, that there is an obstruction. So for example, here we have the bathtub and we cannot clearly see the floor line on this side of the room. You can also point your mouse here on the ceiling. So press Alt and click. Again, top view because we will going to make this line straight. Now, use extrusion mode again. Press shift on your keyboard and pull. Now, I stopped here on this wall because I will be adding another corner here. So press Alt and click and push. Also, I have to stop here to add another corner. Press Alt and click and push until you reach the opposite side of the room or the opposite corners. So this is the shape of the room that we got from the room box, and it is the same as this one. Now, we will be going to add the door. Press D on your keyboard, then start here and stop here. Now, this door is a swing door or with path, so choose with path. It is in pull direction because as you can see, you have to pull in order to open the door, and it is attached to the left. Now we have the window here. We are going to mark this also. Press W and mark the windows in this way. In the same way that we are marking the door, you will also have to mark the window on the exact wall opening. So when you mark the windows like this, it will give you the wrong measurement. So remember, you will have to mark the window on the exact opening from the wall, like this. So the task is already 3/3. So let us move on to the kuche or the kitchen. So I will be starting here on this side. On this corner, press Alt and click. Point it towards the ceiling. Also here, again top view to check the lines, the line if it is straight. Ano lang. Now, we will have to use the extrusion mode. Press shift and pull. And I will stop here on this wall to add another corner here. And push until we reach the opposite side or the opposite corners. So you have to remember that all corners of the room box should fall on the corners of the room. So to get the accurate measurement. Let us mark the door. Press D. Then we have to choose the door type again. So as you can see, it is a swing door or with path attached on the left side in pull direction. So choose with path, pull, and left. Thank you. Now we will be adding the window. Press W. Like this. And let us go to the Wohnzimmer or the living room in English. So I will start here on this side of the room. So on this corner. press Alt and click. Also here, then top view, extrusion mode. So I stopped here on this wall, so I can add another corner here and push. Until we reach the opposite corners of the room. Now, if you would notice, I did not push this part of this wall here because when you uh, because the recession of the wall is just up to this uh, level and it does not reach the ceiling. So when you view the ceiling, I will just organize. So when we view the ceiling, you can see that there is no recession on this part. It is just a straight line. And it should be the same here on the floor because when you do this, it will give you the wrong layout of the room. Because as you can see here on the ceiling, there is no corners on this part. So it should be straight line only. Now let us add the door. Press D. So this door is a swing door or with path in full direction attached on the left side. Now, I want you to pay attention to this door because when I zoom in, you will see that we have hinges here, but it is on the both sides of the door. So it means that this door has two panels or this door is a double door. So let us mark the door on the exact opening from the wall like this. And choose with path. Now, the system has already detected it as a double door. So let us leave it uh, as it is because it is really a double door. Now, the one I am talking a while ago, if you see the hinges, the direction is automatically full. So choose full. And we will be marking the window. Press W. Now, as you can see, we have a combination of a double door and a window here on the plan. Let us move on to the other room. So I will be starting on this part of the room. On this corner, press Alt and click. Also here, top view. make our line straight, and extrusion mode. Now, let us mark this door, press D. Choose with path because it is a swing door. In full direction, attach to the right. So let us mark the windows, press W on your keyboard. And for the last room, I will be starting on the side. So again, press Alt and click on this corner. Also here, top view. And extrusion mode. Add another corner here and push. Let us mark the door, press D. Now, this door is a swing door or with path. Click with path and choose pull in attach to the left. And let us add the window here. Press W. Now that we are already done with the last room, how are we going to save this one? So it is as simple as clicking on any other camera. So as you can see here, we have already completed the room box and all of them are in colored green symbol, which are correct. All of them are correct. So we are now ready to export it in our 2D editor so we can assemble the floor plan. So I will discuss this simultaneously while we are working on the tour. So for example, let us discuss first this export to 2D button. So when I click this arrow drop down menu, I have here four options: current camera, all cameras separately, run merge tool, and run locate tool. But the merge tool and the locate tool is not yet available for you, so we will discuss the current camera and all cameras separately. So for example, I am on the floor, and when I click export to 2D and click current camera, the only camera that is exported in the 2D editor is only the floor. But when I click export to 2D and click all cameras separately, all of the cameras that we have created a room box will be exported here. And this is our 2D editor. So we use this to assemble our floor plans. And I will discuss each part for you so that you will know how to use each button. Let us discuss first these toolbars at the bottom. So it is collapsible. And the first button is the selection button or just letter V. Press letter V on your keyboard. So it is as simple as selecting a room. So a room, when selected, will give you the characteristics. So we have here the room name, the room type, the name visibility, etc. So you will also notice that it is different in the color. So it is a little bluer than the others. And we also have the sketch tool or letter S on your keyboard. So we use this to draw walls like this. Now you can adjust the size of the walls by simply dragging on the sides like this. So you can see the measurement is being displayed. And we also have the draw lines, or what we call the line tool. So we use this option or tool to draw minor drawings such as kitchen countertops on our floor plans. But you have to make sure that when you use the line tool, you will close the shape that you have formed like this, because if it is not closed, you will see that the inside of the shape is transparent, while this one has an opaque gray fill. So again, you will have to close it. Next is the rotate. So when you click on it, you will have the freedom to rotate the whole 2D editor. But for example, I only want to rotate this room. So you have to click on the center and press R. So it will rotate individually. That is how we rotate our room. Now, we also have an erase tool or letter E on your keyboard. So when you click on it and click on any of the lines or uh, shape that you have drawn, it will be erased. So when you are done with erasing the lines that you want, you have to press escape button so that the command will be cancelled. We also have an option to add a door. So you just have to press this, click this or press D on your keyboard and click on the wall where you want to add the door. So this is what I am talking about a while ago. We have an option to change the door type. So as of now, we have here the with path or a swing door. We can also change it to bifold, pocket, sliding, Dutch, overhead. And we can also change it to a double door. So you will just have to turn this on. Then the direction, it is either push or pull. So you also have the option to change that. And another option is to change the, the side of the door or the position from left to right. You can also change the size of the door. So you will just have to pull this side or this side and change the position. You will just have to slide it. Now we also have an option to add a window. So click here or press W on your keyboard and click on the wall where you want to add a window. You can also change the size or change the position. Next is the box or the box tool as we call it. So it is the same as the line tool, but since it is a box, it can only draw rectangles or squares. And if you encounter kitchen countertops that has irregular shape, you will still have to use the draw lines like this. Again, close the line or the shape. Then last is the missing wall. So uh, on your tours, you will encounter wall openings that do not have a door or a door lift. So we identify them as a missing wall. And in plan, it looks like this. You can also change the size or the position. So again, these are the drawing toolbars. Now let us move on to this uh, panel. So this one is the visibility option or the visibility feature, and it is useful when we are working on tours with two or more floors. But as of now, we are only working on a single floor tour, so we are not able to use this feature. But later, when you are on your level 1 or you become a level 1 trainee, all of the course that you will be doing is either two or more floors. And that is why we will be doing a separate training for this topic together with the topics that we cannot discuss for tonight because we only have 2 hours and I cannot cover all the important topics. And so there will be a next training session and it will be conducted later. So we will announce the schedule, and the training session will be conducted by a Vietnamese training team so that you can understand it more clearly. I hope you can attend that meeting. So you have to wait for our announcement in Slack. So let us discuss the walls inspection. So the walls inspection, when turned on, will uh, give you a wall that is highlighted in color yellow, like this. So it means that this wall is not straight because in our floor plans, it is important that we draw we draw the walls straight. So to adjust this or to make it straight, you will just have to pull like this. And this one is the central dimension. When I turn this on, you will see that all of the rooms that have cameras will give you its interior dimension like this. Let us turn this off. We will use this later. Now, this is an option to download or upload a file which is not yet available for you. So let us skip this for now. This button here is the to-do list. So it will give you all the tasks that you have to do in order to save your floor plan. And as you can see here, we have one task, which is to set unit of measurement in meters. But if you would remember, as I have discussed earlier, this tool is in meters already. So it means that you do not have to do anything. And this is the save button. So a while ago, we have turned on the autosave. So it saves your progress every 3 minutes. But if you want to make sure, you can just click in order to save your progress like this. Now, let us discuss this window. So this is, you can make it larger by simply dragging this corner. And it is most useful when we are assembling or connecting the rooms. Because when I click here on this blue dot here, it will give you the view from the camera. So this blue dot here represents the location or the camera. So this one. So this is the camera on the plan. Now, this white arrow here, small white arrow, when I point it towards this corner, you will see this line is also pointing to this corner, which means that this corner on the camera and this corner on the plan are the same. And when I point it towards this door, it is also pointing to this door. So it means that this room here will be connected through this door. Let us try to the other rooms. So this small arrow here, I will point it towards the window. So it is also pointing here. Now let us move on to these elements that we add in our floor plan. So I want to remind everybody that we do not add loose furniture in our floor plan. So it means that we will not be adding the living room and the bedroom. We will only add the stairs, the bathroom, and the kitchen, except for the chair, because this is also a loose furniture. So let us discuss this one by one. Let us start with the stairs. So this is a straight stair, and we use this for the straight stairs that are found in our cameras. So you can rotate this and change the measurement depending on the measurement that you got from your room box. So you have to remember that the number of the steps of the stairs is not important, but the most important thing is that the measurement of the stair, which is this one, should always be the same as the measurement that you got in your room box. So remember that. And also, we only draw the stairs in upward direction. So the arrow direction should always point to the upper floor. So the next type of stair is the caracol. So this is useful for DocuSketch inspection orders because most of them are uh, mansions and they have sometimes they have spiral staircases or grand staircases. So we use these stairs to represent them. It is customizable, so you will just have to change the value. For example, from 90 degrees, we will change it to 180, 270, 360, or even an irregular angle, for example, 145 degrees. Then you can also change the number of steps. For example, let us make it 7 steps. And to turn on the direction visibility or the arrow direction, click yes. So as you can see, we have here the arrow direction, and you can change it from clockwise to counterclockwise. Now, the inner radius are also customizable. We will just have to input a value on it. So for example, let us type 50%. So as you can see, the center of this stairs has been changed. You can rotate this depending on what you need and resize. Also this one. We also have the square version of the caracol. It can also be customized. So you will just have to change the value 90, 180, 270, 360, or an irregular angle, for example, 135 degrees. Then the number of steps, for example, let us make it 4 steps only. And the direction visibility, click yes, and change it from clockwise to counterclockwise. You can also rotate depending on what you need. The next is the landing. So this is what we use to represent stair landings. So you can change the size and rotate depending on what you need in your floor plan. So these are all the elements that we use for the stairs. Next are the elements that we use for the bathroom. The first one is the bathtub. So this one you can rotate the size depending on what you need. We also have the bath corner, which can be found on the corners of the bathroom. So rotate, resize. Next, we also have the symbol for the toilet or the water closet. So rotate and resize. So for this fixture, we are recommending that you only resize it through like this, diagonally, because when you resize it like this, you can see that the proportion of the fixture has been changed and it does not look good anymore. So you will just have to rescale it diagonally like this. Same as the urinal, rotate and rescale. We also have the bathroom sink, rescale or resize, rotate. Next, we have the sink double or the double bathroom sink. So, if you encounter bathroom sinks that are located beside each other, you can just simply use this fixture. So, rescale diagonally and rotate. We also have here the shower, the fixture we use for the shower. So this one, you can rescale it depending on what you need. Like this, and rotate. We also have the square version of the shower. So this one, you can also rescale it like this. Rotate. And the last fixture or appliance for the bathroom is the washing machine. So remember that we also add the washing machine regardless of its position in the house. So sometimes if you are working on apartment units, most of the washing machines are located in the bathroom or in under the kitchen countertops. But on larger houses, such as the tours in the inspection orders, which are mostly mansions, they have separate laundry rooms. So when you see the washing machine on those rooms, you will also have to add them. So for this one, rescale diagonally and rotate. So again, these are all the elements that we add for our bathroom. Next is the elements that we add for the kitchen. So again, we do not add the chair because it is a furniture or it is a loose furniture. So we will start with the stove. So this is a regular size of the stove. So rescale diagonally and rotate. We also have a smaller version. Rescale diagonally, rotate. Next, we have the larger version of the stove. Rescale diagonally, rotate. We also have the sink or the kitchen sink with the drain on the side. So rescale diagonally, rotate. Then we also have the smaller version of the sink. So rescale diagonally, rotate. And a double version of the sink. Rescale diagonally, rotate. And of course, you also have the refrigerator. So this one is a single door refrigerator. So we rescale this diagonally, rotate. And of course, we have the double door version of the refrigerator, which is this one. Rescale diagonally, rotate. So again, these are all the elements that we add in our kitchen. So just to give you an example on how we draw a kitchen, let us use this room here. So for the kitchen countertop, we will use the line tool or the draw lines. So most of the countertops are measured 0.60 meters. So we will follow that. We will adjust to achieve the 0.60 meters. Then do not forget to close the line like this. And for example, we have here a double door fridge and a sink here and a large stove here at the center. So this is an example of how we draw the kitchen, but of course, you will draw it according on what you see on the camera. So this is just an example. So now we will be we will now assemble the floor plan. So let me just delete all of this. So again, if you have any questions, you can type it on our chat box. Now let us assemble the floor plan. So the first thing that you have to remember when you begin to assemble your floor plan is to look for the room that contains the main door or the main entrance. Remember that. You will have to look for the room that contains the main door or the main entrance. So to do that, go back to the room box tab. And most of the time, if you are working on apartment units, the main entrance will be found on the floor or on the hallway. So it is just most of the time. I am not saying all the time. Because sometimes there are separate room like foyer. So it can also contain the main door or the main entrance and also the living room. You can also find the main entrance there or the main door. So you just have to check it carefully. So for this apartment unit, uh, I could say that the door is located on the floor or the hallway in English. So we have a lot of doors here, and we will identify which is the main entrance or the main door. So the first thing that you are going to look is the measurements. So we have here 1.09 meters, 0.94, 1.15, 1.09, 1.12, and 1.25. Now, most of the time, the main entrance or the main door has the bigger measurement. And in this case, this door has the wider or the bigger measurement. It is 1.25. And also, if you would notice, when I zoom in, you will see that there is a hole attached to the surface of the door, which is what we call the peephole. So peepholes are attached on the main doors or the main entrance so that the people living inside the apartment unit can see the activities happening outside of their doors. So this one is the same as this, the peephole. So it is another clue that this is our main entrance or our main door. Now you have to remember that if it is on the room floor, go back to the 2D editor and we will separate the floor among the rest of the rooms. To do that, press Control plus Shift on your keyboard and move the room. Now, as you can see, I don't know if it is visible to you, but I have here a darker vertical and horizontal line, which signifies or symbolizes the center of the 2D editor. So when you see it, you will have to move the room here so that our drawings or our floor plan is located in the center of the 2D editor so that it can be easily seen by our clients and our reviewers. Now, the second step is that you will have to find which door is the main entrance among this door, and we will locate it at the bottom. So again, we will use this window here. Press on this camera or click on this camera, and the small arrow here, point it towards our main entrance on the camera. And on the floor plan, this line is pointing to this door, which means that this is our main door or our main entrance. Now, it is on the top as of now, and we will have to rotate it so that it will be on the bottom, like this. This is a general rule that the main entrance or the main door of our floor plan is located at the bottom of our floor plan. Now, we are now free to connect the rooms. So what we're going to do is that we will have to choose a room that is easiest to identify, which is in this case, is this bathroom. So as you can see here, we have the shower and the bathtub. We can find it here. So clearly, it is a bathroom. and we will connect it through this door because the line is pointing here to this door. Now, go back to the room box tab so that we will find or we can find the bathroom. So, obviously, it is the body Zimmer. So, remember, bathroom is body Zimmer. Go back to the 2D editor. And we will move this room here. And we will rotate it so that we can connect it through this door. So remember, while I am moving the room, I am pressing Control and Shift on my keyboard continuously. Now that two rooms are already connected to each other, let us try to find another room that we can connect. So I guess we can go with this room because as you can see, we have here the tiles installed on the wall. So let us go back to the room box tab. So but the Zimmer is already connected. So let us start searching for it in the Kuche, which is these doors that we are looking, tiles, sorry, which is these tiles that we are looking for. So remember, it is on the Kuche. Go back to the 2D editor and select Kuche. Press Ctrl and Shift on your keyboard to move and rotate to connect it through this door. Now we have three more rooms left. So let us look on what room is easiest to identify. So I think we can go with this room here because as you can see, we have a clue, which is this bag located on the window sill. So remember this bag, we will be connecting the room through this door. Go back to the room box tab. So Body Zimmer and Kuche are already connected. So let us search for it in the one Zimmer. We have the window here, but we do not have the bag. Also here in the Schlaf Zimmer, we have two windows, but there is no bag. So I guess it is on the Schlaf Zimmer too, which is this bag that we are looking for. So remember, Schlaf Zimmer 2, go back to the 2D editor and move the Schlaf Zimmer 2 because we will be connecting it through this door. So rotate and connect. Now we have two more doors left and two rooms. So among this door or among these rooms, what is the easiest room to identify? So I guess we can go with this room because the clue here is this two electrical sockets located beside each other. So we will search for it in the room box tab. So Body Zimmer, Kuche, and Schlaf Zimmer 2 are already connected. So let us search for it in the one Zimmer. Now, we have two electrical sockets here, but they are not located beside each other. So I guess it is on the Schlaf Zimmer 2. So these two electrical sockets that we are looking for. So remember, Schlaf Zimmer, go back to the 2D editor, and we will connect that room through this door. here on the plan. So select and rotate. Now connect. And obviously, this door is going through or going to this room. Now, we have already assembled the floor plan. Let us go to this option here or this button, then turn on the walls inspection so that we can see if we have uh, slanted lines like this. So we'll have to uh, organize or adjust it. Click save. Next is that we will be going to add our fixtures. So let us start with the one Zimmer. So obviously there is nothing to add here on the Schlap Zimmer. There is nothing to add here also. In the body Zimmer, we will have to add the bathtub, the toilet or the water closet, and this sink. Now point this white arrow on the location of the bathtub. So the bathtub is located here on this area. So select bathtub on the option, rotate, and resize. Now for the water closet or the toilet, so it will be located on this area. Rotate. And also the bathroom sink, so it will be located on this area. Now on the floor, there is nothing to add here. Also here on the Schlaf Zimmer and here in the Koche. So there is nothing to add here. So you have to remember that even though we know that this is a kitchen, but we do not see anything in here. So there's no kitchen countertop, there is no stove, there is no refrigerator. So we will not be going to add anything. We will only add if the fixture is present in the camera. So like here, so in the bathroom, you can see that these fixtures are present. So we add them here in our floor plan. In the kitchen, there is nothing in here, so we do not have to add anything. So now that we have completed the fixture, the next thing that we will going to do is to organize the room names because the room names should not overlap with our cameras. So as you can see here, this room name and this one is overlapping with the camera. So we will have to organize. So I will place it here and also this one here because it is important that the room names are aligned with each other like this. So for this one, I will place it here and the floor here and the body Zimmer here so that they are aligned with each other. And for the kitchen, I will just place it here. Now, click Save. And we are already done with our floor plan. We will now be going to submit this. And to do that, go back to the order page. So when I reload the page, you will see that we have the overview of the floor plan here. Now, to submit, we have different buttons. If you are done with the tour and you are ready to submit, you will click Finish Drawing and Log Time. Now, it will require you to enter the time you spent doing on the order in minute format. So, for example, you work on it for 3 hours. Then you will enter 180 minutes. Then click Log Time and Finish. So when you click this button, it means that you are already done with the floor plan and you have already submitted it. It also means that it is that the tour is no longer assigned to you, and uh you will and you do not have the access to make changes or edits on it anymore because it is already submitted. That's the finished drawing in lag time. But for example, you you are done working for the day, but you are not yet finished with the floor plan. Click lag time without finish and just lag time. So it will require you to input the time you spent doing the order in minute format. So for example, you work on this tour for 1 hour for today. So input 60 minutes, then click just lag time. So it means that you just recorded your time working on the tour and you are not yet submitting the tour. And when you go back, for example, tomorrow, you will still see this tour assigned to you and you will still have the access to make changes or edit on this tour. So this is the lag time without finish and just lag time. Now, for live orders, there is also an option to lag time and unassign. So again, it will require the time you spent doing the order. For example, you work on it only for 30 minutes. Then you will have to select the reason. For example, your shift is over. And in the comment section, you will have to specify the progress that you have made and click lag time and unassign from me. So this one means that you are not yet done with the floor plan, but you want it to be unassigned from you so that the other drafters can work on it. Because live orders have deadlines and we cannot afford to deliver them late to our clients. So remember that this option is only applicable for live orders. And since you are just working on test tours or training tours, your option is only finish drawing and lag time without finish, just lag time. And since we are done with the floor plan, we will be uh, clicking the finish drawing and lag time. Now, before we end our meeting, I just have a few things and tips for you to remember when you start doing your tests. So the first one is the horizontal line should be as close as possible to the floor and it lies strictly at the bottom of the baseboard or the intersection between the wall and the floor if there is no baseboard. So we are talking about this line here, the green line. So as much as possible, it should uh, it should be as close as possible to the intersection between the wall and the floor or the bottom of the baseboard so that you can get the most accurate measurement. So let us just wait for the images to load. So let us go back to this here. If the corner doesn't have a 90-degree corner, then it is necessary to turn off the 90-degree angle mark. So as you can see here, this wall is slanted, or it has a different angle, and the corner is in cross mode, unlike this one. So you have to remember that you will have to turn off the 90-degree angle mark for this type of wall. So for example, this is the this is the slanting wall, for example. To turn off the 90-degree angle mark, click and turn this off. So as you can see, it is now in cross corner or node. Or also, another option is to hover your cursor here, press Alt, and click. It is now also changed to a cross one. Next, make sure that the door's mark is located within the door jambs only. So like this one, as I am discussing a while ago, we only measure the doors on its exact door opening. Next, if hinges are visible, the door's direction is always pull. I am also discussing this a while ago. So this door means that the direction is pull. Next, if the recession of the wall is not extended up to the ceiling, which is this part, this is the correct way to room box it. I also discussed this a while ago, so you will encounter this on your candidate tours. So as you can see, the correct layout or the correct room box is only straight line rather. It only means that the exterior wall is thick and we do not need to extrude that part. So again, this is the wrong layout or room box, while the straight line is the correct one. So before you ask your questions, I also want to show you another thing. So in cases like this, when there is another door that leads to the outside, just like this in the one Zimmer, it means that there is another space outside this door. But the problem is when we when we check the camera, the door is closed and we are not sure if there is really a space outside this door, but